With each passing day, I get more and more information on AI things in the world, and that goes with home fitness equipment. And all of this equipment uses electromagnetic resistance, which applies force to your muscles, generating the stimulus it needs to get bigger and stronger at rest. And in the last couple of years, many new brands have hit the market. Ones like Tonal, Vitruvian, Speediance, Oxfit, and many, many more I've seen in advertisements online as I look up a lot of this equipment to use in my home gyms. And so far I've used 2 different brands when it comes to resistance training and 1 cardio. And I'm going to go over my favorite setup here, comparing the 2 resistance and the cardio one to see how much it would cost you and what I think of it. So jumping in, I do have some criteria I look for before deciding if I want to buy any of these items. Just know they are far more expensive than buying dumbbells or resistance bands, so that's why I have some criteria that I personally like to see before purchasing something of this price range. First off, I want it to be standalone, which instantly kicks out the tonal. Personally, I do not want to have things drilled into my walls. While the tonal may be great and people can use it and get results, I don't want it in mine because I'm not going to be drilling it into my wall or having someone come over here and messing with my house. If you're in an apartment, it may be impossible to do this anyway, but that's why the tonal will not be in this list. Also, the product must be able to provide resistance in the concentric and eccentric portions of the lift. Basically the raising and lowering or shortening and lengthening of the muscle through the exercise range of motion. And my next criteria is that it can't be overly massive. Think of like a giant cage you might see in a gym or even in people's garages. I do not want to be that big. I would like it to fit in this particular office for me to do my workouts, or like a small room. I don't want to be taking up an entire garage worth of space. Yes, I do have a garage, but I'm in Texas. It gets over 100 in there in the summer, and there's no way I'm working out in that heat. So it has to fit inside in the AC in a small office room like I am in right now. And lastly, I have a major pro if your product fits this, and that is that it goes into my closet. Now, in my old home apartment, before moving into this house, it would have easily fit in that closet, but now I just have a sliding door one, which is really, really small. So if it doesn't fit in there, it's not the end of the world, but it would be great if the product does fit in the closet to get it out of the way when I am not using it. So as of shooting this video, I have used 3 different pieces of equipment. Again, 2 resistance and 1 cardio based. And the first one I'm going to talk about is the Vitruvian V-Form Trainer Plus. Now overall, I did really like this product and I made a full review on it. You should check out in the description below. But in short, I did return this product after learning of the limitations you have without using a membership or paying for the membership for the product itself. Basically, you lose your tracking and kind of the AI features that make it worth the price. So that again is why I returned it before the 30-day trial period was up. So again, that was a pretty big bummer. The other big issue I ran into is there's no overhead or vertical pulling movements, as there's no attachment over your head that you can use for it. Could you get around this and still work the lats? Yes, by doing different forms of rows, but I really like having that option. Outside of that, I think this is an excellent product for anyone looking into it, so check out my review and see if it works for you. But the product I do have and use to this day is the Speediance Gym Monster. And this product was sent to me for free from Speediance. They actually reached out to me through email and sent me this product for free. It did have a few missing items for some reason, but again, free item, might be biased on my opinion here, but here is why I still have it over something like the V-Form Trainer Plus. First off, you can do vertical pulling exercises. Now the thing might be a little short depending on how tall you are, but if I'm on my knees and I do pull downs, it is tall enough for me to do that pretty well. So again, that is a big draw. It's also a standalone product. You can wheel it around. Some issues are that it does weigh about 180 pounds, I think. So getting it around is not easy. It's actually super hard to get out of the box, but it does have small wheels. You might be able to wheel it around. It unfortunately doesn't fit in my closet, but again, I have small closets. It would easily fit in my last place. And it only goes up to 220 pounds of resistance, which for the average person is more than enough. But if you're someone who's been lifting for a long time or needs more weight, you may find this isn't enough for you. Personally, I was able to deadlift the max amount on my first try, so I have to come up with other things around that in order to make sure I get my hamstrings and glutes in my workout programs and activate it effectively. Now, one thing with Speediance that they did give me for free is a lifetime membership. So I've not used it without the membership itself, and there are many limitations as well with this, which may make you not want to buy it. So I'm going to put a list on screen of what you get and what you don't get with the product. You can also reach out to their support to confirm anything that you would like to know, but just know that I can unlock everything right now. I think also, as of shooting this video, if you did purchase today, they would also give you a lifetime membership, but just know I want to let you guys have all the big pictures to see what I'm using it for. I do have a lifetime membership, so I get all of the benefits that Vitruvian didn't give me before. So that is why I may be a little biased here, but it is the reason I personally have this outside of the other pros I talked about earlier. And a quick note, you could use something like the Hevy App and do the extra tracking yourself. So if you still want to use the electromagnetic resistance and still track really well, there is a free app called Hevy, which is the one I use and I pay a full membership for. I actually bought their lifetime membership, so it's not monthly. So you can actually go in there and follow me. I'll put a link in the description to my account. You can follow my exact workouts, see when I complete workouts and how I did. But you could also track everything in that app. You can even make it all for free if you want, which is the 4 workouts that you get for free. And you could just go from there. So if you really want to do that and keep everything without a membership, you could have the Hevy App and the Speediance or Vitruvian if you actually went that route too, and do everything you needed by just doing free exercises on it. Now, before I move on to cardio, I want to go over that I don't want you spending money you don't have for either the Trainer Plus or the Speediance Gym Monster. Please make sure you are not just putting money into things that are just out there in the world without doing a lot of research first. So again, check out my full breakdowns of this equipment, make sure it fits for you, but then also make sure you have the funds and don't be financing all of your money away to get these. I would actually start with dumbbells, body weight, resistance bands, anything else that's much cheaper before this. Make sure that you are actually dedicated enough to put in a lot of time and even years into your training, and then look into these as an option. Unless you are someone who's really rich, maybe you just have a lot of money to blow, then you can look into these as a good option and can start with. But again, these are expensive. I personally can't really afford these without getting the ones sent to me for free and to test out like the Speediance did. So just know, make sure that you have the money to buy these and that you're not putting yourself in financial ruin by trying to purchase and build muscle with these equipment. But with that, I'm going to go into my last and cheapest of the 3 items, and that is a cardio piece of equipment called the RENPHO AI Spin Bike. Now, I've had this thing for years and it is great. It's also one of the cheapest items, I believe. I bought it for around the $500 mark, but it's actually been going down, and it is an AI-based bike, so it can actually change the resistance for you using electromagnetic dampening is what I think they call it. So basically, as you go up certain grades, so like if you were following one of the app's suggestions and you were going up a hill, it can mimic that by making it harder to pedal. And then when you go down a hill, it'll make it easier to pedal. There's also races where you can kind of set the gear you want to go at, and it can also mimic up and down hills. So you have to change the gears while you're going. So there's a lot of cool features with this. And guess what? There is no membership with the RENPHO. So thank you, RENPHO, for doing something awesome. I also love your scale, but just know that this bike has been pretty amazing for something that is around the $500 mark, I think even less now, and has no membership for the features that you get. Now, of course, this isn't like a real bike you can even see on screen. It's definitely an exercise spin bike. So if you're looking for like balancing or doing something crazy with the other real bike setups and like competing and things of that nature, you might want a different setup that's maybe more expensive. But again, for the average person who's just looking to get in some cardio or even just do some small races like I do, this is, I think, perfect for your cardio needs. So, to round it all out, my 2 recommendations are the Speediance Gym Monster and the RENPHO AI Spin Bike. If you just got only these 2 pieces of equipment, you would literally have everything you pretty much ever need for the rest of your life. Now, I was looking to see how long this product would last, and I do have an FAQ, and it looks like if you used it for like a couple hours a day, every day, for 13 years, then you might get to a point where it would wear out. But I doubt I even get there. I actually only work out about 2 hours a week right now. So I think this thing, as long as nothing else software or hardware breaks down in time, it should last me years and years and years to come, unless I decide to go in a different direction. I still use resistance bands and dumbbells quite a lot because I like using them, but do you know I do have the Speediance still as of shooting this video. But again, make sure that you've seen everything there is to know about these products by checking out my reviews. So I'll put my Vitruvian, my Speediance, and my RENPHO reviews on screen for you, so you can make sure you have an informed decision before looking to purchase any of these items.